Good evening. We'll call this meeting in the City of Hawarden, Iowa to order on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2015 at 5:31 p.m. Present are all council and staff. Number of items tonight on other agenda items. Again, if you wish to participate in any conversation or comments to the council, your opportunity will be that at number 1C, open business from the community. We do not have any public hearings this evening for comments for any particular item. Standard agenda item number 1A is approval of the September 9th, 2015 council meeting minutes. They're in your packets, council persons.
So moved.
There's been a motion by Travis, second by Tim. Questions or clarifications? Hearing none, all in favor then of the September 9th, 2015 council meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Next is the approval of claims for payment. I'll start to my left with Payne for questions.
None, thank you.
Tim, do you have questions?
None.
Travis, any questions on claims?
No, thank you.
Larry?
No.
Any questions? Hearing no questions, I'd entertain a motion for claims for payment.
So move.
Moved by Larry.
Second.
Seconded by Payne. All in favor then of claims for payment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That again passes 5-0. Agenda item number 1C is open business from the community. Does anyone wish to approach the podium and give comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to the mayor's report. I'd like to thank Don Hummel and Tim McKinney for their service on the West Sioux School Board, as they have gone off at this point. And we'd like to congratulate the West Sioux royalty, King Porter Hummel and Queen Amanda Mace, for their honor for them and their families. We wish the Falcons success this week in volleyball and football. Homecoming is always a nice time for the school and also for the community. I see kids were pretty active downtown doing some chalk work and things too. So appreciate that, and we appreciate those that are involved with that. We'll move to staff reports. Council comments. Anything from council? And we'll move to staff reports. Mike, anything from your point of view?
Saturday is National Drug Take Back Day. We're going to be hosting a site at the police department where people can bring in their old prescriptions or outdated prescriptions and drop them off. And then next week we'll be all packaged up and sent into the DEA.
That'll be at the police station?
At the police station from 10 to 2.
Okay. Mr. Pickner, anything?
Nothing to report.
Okay, thanks. Tom Kane, please.
A couple things. Got citywide cleanup October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we're going to purchase another used snowplow truck. And this was budgeted for last year, so the money is in the capital equipment fund. We just haven't got to it yet. And we were notified yesterday that we're going to have another increase in our garbage rates. The gate fees went up by $2.50. And that'll mean a 33-cent increase on our bill. That's what's allowed in our contract. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Barry Tucker.
I just want to mention one thing. We did meet today, and we continue to move forward on our getting into the internet business. We are setting up some additional test sites for the next couple of weeks. On all of the nodes are now cut over, so we're setting up about 7 or 8 additional test sites to make sure that we're capable of at least 50 meg speeds at every location. We're also doing a couple test sites at 100 meg, and we should have those results within a couple of weeks. The plan is to bring some rate proposals to the council on the 14th, and hopefully we can establish some rates and be up and running by the 1st of November.
So are we Do we have anything in mind about the surrounding community? I mean, some of the people were complaining about, losing their, I don't know how they have their internet, but is that in any forecast or towers?
Not at this point, no. We talked about it today, but we don't have anything in place at this point, so.
Any other questions for staff? We'll move on to the oath of office for library board members Case Groggs and Larry Gregg. We're always thankful for the volunteers in our community that step up and participate in board member seats. Case Groggs is not with us this evening, but Larry Gregg will be a new position on the Norwood Public Library Board, taking the place of late Lois Jean Dawson. So Larry, come forward, please. If you just raise your right hand and read your oath of office.
I, Larry Gregg, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa, and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of a member of the Library Board for the City of Hawarden, as now or hereafter required by law.
Thank you again for your service. Step around over here.
Okay. Thanks, Larry.
We'll get it revised. Thank you.
Larry, thanks again for your willingness to participate on the Hawarden Library Board. Your retirement's been short-lived, I think. Next agenda item is a hospital update. Jason is unable to be with us this evening. He did send Gary an email earlier this week that stated that the 1936 building is scheduled to be destroyed this Thursday. I believe from what I've heard, it's going down already.
Yeah.
That's the update from the hospital, and we hope that that process goes safely for all involved. Agenda item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding hiring of a collective bargaining representative. And Mr. Gary, if I could.
A previous contract was a 4-year contract. We're in the beginning the fourth year of that contract, and which will expire at the end of this fiscal year. According to the provisions in the Code of Iowa, we've been notified that we need to begin the process of negotiating for a new contract that will begin July 1 of 2016. So my question to you, I guess, is do you want to hire Harvey Wiltsey again as the negotiator as we've done in the past? And he is willing to do it and begin that process with him, or do you have another preference?
It's good with me. Go for it. Do you need a motion?
Probably,
I would think we would
Probably
need a
good.
motion for that. I think.
he indicated his cost would be very similar to what they were before, and I believe, if I remember right, we paid him $4,000 roughly last time, I believe. Negotiating, so.
Well, I would go ahead and make a motion. I don't know if he'll come back with a contract or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I'll make a motion to hire him. Harvey Wiltsey.
It's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. Further discussion or clarification? All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Then reach out to Harvey. I'm sure they can say this. Agenda item number 6 would be a resolution 2015-26 approving the fiscal year 2015 street finance report for the Iowa DOT. I refer again to Gary, if we could, please.
Every year we have to file a report with the DOT, street finance report indicating what we've used the road use tax monies for, to make sure that they're very specific as to what that money can be spent on, and this report needs to be approved and be sent in by the end of September, so that we can continue to receive monthly road use tax money. So.
Is there a motion for resolution 2015-26?
So move.
Moved by Larry. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Travis. Call for a roll call vote, please, for resolution 2015-26.
Olson?
Aye.
Kurth?
Aye.
Bowder?
Aye.
Harvey?
Yep.
Allen?
Aye.
On a 5-0 roll call vote, resolution 2015-26 passes. Agenda item number 7, we're looking forward to fiscal year 2017. We'll need to have discussions on future street projects and arranging for the engineering for those projects. At one point, we talked about moving into Avenue L, but I'll pass that conversation to
Well, my main purpose for putting this on the agenda is just to open up discussion again as to which street might be next on our list, and when we would like to proceed. I did follow up with another attachment that was sent on, I think, Saturday or Monday or sometime, but that talks about our current debt situation as it relates to our GO debt. And as you can see, we're at about 50% of our limit, and with GO debt, you're limited at 5% of your total valuations, which in our case comes to about $4.2 million, $4.1 million, depending on the year, $4.2 million. And so, I'm not sure that we're in a position for a year or two, unless you guys choose otherwise, but it would be my recommendation anyway to hold off for a couple of years at least doing the construction and pay down some of this debt and get us in a better position to finance it in the future. There's a couple of things that are happening in 2018, I believe. In 2019, there's an infrastructure debt that will be paid off in 2019, and in 2018, the community center will be paid off. And one of the things that you could choose to do maybe in 2018, or at least consider, is to continue the levy that you've been levying on the community center and use it for street replacement, and that would not increase the tax levy. You would just maintain the levy at the standard that you're currently at, but you are levying for the community center debt right now, so you could consider levying for street debt at some point in the future if you chose to do that without increasing people's taxes. So, again, from a construction standpoint, I'm not sure we're really in a financial position to do anything until probably 2018 at the earliest, in my opinion. But that being said, we still, at what point would you like to have, is Elda Street you're looking at, and would you like to consider doing some engineering, some preliminary engineering? That particular street, if that is the street you decide to do, has a water line, a 10-inch water main running up the middle of the street, and we have to make some decision as to, number one, do we need to move that water line? And that's, if we choose to do that, it's probably about as much as the paving will cost. If it's $100,000 a block to pave, it's going to be about $100,000 a block to move that water line. It is ductile iron, I believe, Tom, is that correct?
Right.
And so it does have a fairly lengthy life expectancy, but it's 40 years old. So, and if we do decide to leave it under the street at the bare minimum, I would think that we'd want to replace all the services that tie into it. So, at least to the curb boxes. So there's a lot of things to consider, and I'm not sure when you want to start that process, but if we're going to wait until 18 or 19 to do the construction, I would probably wait until maybe a year before to start the engineering. I'm not sure I would spend the money now because there's so many things can change in that time. But I wanted to get out on the table tonight just because I know that we've talked about continuing this street process, but based on my evaluation and my recommendation, I think we should wait a couple years to move forward, but financially. Not discontinue doing streets, but we just have to make sure that we are fiscally responsible and don't get the city. I'm really concerned about getting into that upper tier of our percentage of debt capacity that we have in case something were to happen. Again, we're at 50% right now. If we were to do that street, the entire street from 10th to 20th, it would take all of our debt capacity to do that right now. And I definitely wouldn't recommend that. So if we did do something, we could maybe break it into 16th to 20th and then 10th to 16th or something, and maybe lessen it somewhat, but you might be better off waiting a couple or 3 years and doing the whole project. I think you get better pricing and it may make more sense, but do it that way. So.
Comments from council?
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's wait.
Any questions on the general obligation bond information or the debt information that we had that I put together?
We have the discussions, that's always helpful to have in front of us for
Yeah.
reminders of where we're at.
Yeah.
By waiting, that'll get the hospital project all,
We got a hospital project and an electric project going on, and we'd like to do street lighting yet on West 10th, or excuse me, on 10th, not West 10th, on 10th, Highway 10. Hopefully this next summer, and so we've got our hands full anyway with the staff that we have, to be honest with you. So.
any other comments in regards to that? Okay, sounds like we'll go with your recommendation at this point.
Put it off for at least a year and come back and maybe revisit next fall and see where everybody's at, so.
Thank you for those numbers. Our last meeting, we proposed to have a resolution tonight for real property located at 18th Street and Avenue F and publish a notice of a public hearing. Agenda item number 8 is the resolution 2015-27 doing just that, proposing to dispose of real property at 18th Street and Avenue F and publishing that notice. Is there a motion for resolution 2015-27?
So moved.
Motion by Travis, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. Any questions or clarifications?
I'd just like to make sure everybody understands that the public hearing date is October 28th, and for John too, it's October 28th, so that we have enough adequate publication time to make sure that we fall into the scope of the code. So
This hearing will start that process, the resolution. Got a motion and a second.
So
Call
moved.
in for a roll call vote, please, for resolution 2015-27.
Allen?
Aye.
Harvey?
No.
Kurth?
Aye.
Bowder?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
On a 4-to-1 roll call vote, resolution 2015-27 passes. Our next regular stated meeting will be October the 14th. We'll talk then about internet rates and go from there. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Travis, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Tim. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none, city council is adjourned.